I don't believe that expert-based entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, therapists, I don't believe that they have a messaging problem. You want to know why some people, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, it just turns into gold and clients. And some people, no matter how they market, no matter how hard they work, they just don't attract the right people to their business. And people think, well, obviously it is the messaging, it is the marketing. I'm here to tell you that not necessarily. Because listen, here's the thing. I don't believe that expert-based entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, therapists, people who have years of experience in corporate or otherwise in business, people who deliver transformation, people who deliver high quality results. I don't believe that they have a messaging problem. I truly do not believe so. It's not the messaging problem. It's not the marketing problem. It is how they show up. Listen, for 12 years, I was working as a therapist, and I was working with different high performing, very much type A personalities. And this is what I notice. People sell and show up differently. People persuade and people convert differently. Because listen, if anybody paid you ever for your services, you know how to persuade, you know how to convert. If anybody ever got the transformation from your services, you know how to persuade, you know how to convert. And now the problem is, what is your unique method that aligns with you? So after working with many entrepreneurs, after working as a therapist and clinical psychologist, I noticed there are 5 traits, 5 personality types. I call it archetypes that aligns with different marketing strategies and with different zone of genius. Because listen, as a CEO, as a founder, as a business owner, and if you are running a business, you are a CEO, you are the business owner, it's really important to stay in your zone of genius and expand your zone of genius and steer clear from something that does not align with your unique ability, with your zone of genius. Because this is not necessarily the how, it's really understanding who is doing what. Like, is it your ability? Is it your responsibility that you should implement? Or maybe you should hire out? Like, really, there are 3 questions that you need to answer. What is your unique ability? What you can do right now. You don't need help with that. And this is your quick win. This is what you can implement right now. Number 2, what skill do you need to master and improve? Something that aligns with your zone of genius. This is where you expand your zone of genius. And number 3, what you should outsource completely, because not every skill is worth to be learning. Like, save yourself time. Because like you as a CEO, you as a business owner, your job is to do business development, is to communicate your vision, is to communicate your mission to your clients and to the outside world. This is the most important part. So this is why I was doing, like, this year, like in 2020, in 2024, I was doing research and I was documenting 5 archetypes, 5 personality types for different type of leaders and how it aligns with marketing. I call it archetypes. What is an archetype? An archetype is a collection of characteristics. And normally archetype is tied to like a story. For example, I call my archetypes with biblical names. And it's not religious study or anything like that. Even if you're not religious, even if you're not Christian, like, it still will work for you, because archetypes, they're rooted in collective consciousness, in collective and cultural consciousness. This is how our brain learns. This is how our brain develops. So this is a huge part of us, of our culture, of our society. So this now, let's dive into each of them. I'm not going to do a deep dive into each archetype completely, but I will tell you the strengths and weaknesses. And throughout month of January and February, honestly, we're going to do deep dive into each archetype, into each personality type, and see what marketing and messaging methods align with them, what feels good for them, because this is the core for successful business. And when you understand your core personality type, your core archetype, you understand how you can show up authentically and market that feels good for you and sell more in a way that aligns with you, so it doesn't feel like a chore, that like you don't burn out doing something that is not in alignment with you and your nervous system. So the first archetype is Solomon. Solomon is a typical entrepreneur personality type that no matter what they do, they go viral. They're really good with content. They create a lot of content. They have magnetic personality. So if you think about a Solomon type, like I would say Oprah, Tony Robbins, like those big names that create really good content that attracts a lot of people, and they have a lot of fans. So this is Solomon type. So and this is a good thing. So you have the natural ability to create content and attract more people to you. This is good. What is the downside? Well, there are two of them. One downside, the Solomon doesn't know when enough is enough, because when something is working and you are working in this constant growth, constant profit, sometimes it is really hard to know when to start or when to stop, rather. Sometimes you don't know when enough is enough. This is number one. Number two, you're really good with marketing. You're really good with connecting with people, and you're a subject matter expert, but sometimes you overemphasize your marketing efforts and content creation. You're a good marketer, but when it comes to the service delivery, sometimes you underdeliver. And this is a pitfall. And it's not that you do it on purpose. It's not that Solomon does it on purpose. It's just how their personality works. They're really they're here to inspire. They're here to market, essentially. But you can actually turn that ability into service delivery as well. So another archetype is Moses. Moses, listen, if you think about career coaches, executive coaches, a person with a big vision, Moses is here to really create a huge difference. They're trailblazers. They're really here to guide people through challenging paths and build people, companies, nations that they have really, really big vision. So, and this is a good thing. So the way they convert is when people work with them, when people actually experience them, they're sold. They follow them. This is gold. But the downside of it is that they're really not good with public marketing. They're really good, they market in private through service delivery, but they have challenges with putting their marketing and messaging out there. Why? Because they have a big vision, and that vision stands in a way from seeing the customer and knowing the customer journey, knowing the customer awareness, and the type of support that they need sometimes is just literally look at why their message is not resonating, because they communicate at this level and their audience is at this level. And the support that they need is really with a strategy, really with hiring a team and leaning into support. Now, the next prototype is Lilith. Lilith, I love Lilith. She is a rule breaker, and she's a shadow marketer. Let me explain what it means. And by the way, each prototype, it's applicable for men and women, so it's not gender specific. So Solomon can be a woman and a man, and vice versa. So Lilith, the way Lilith markets, it's through collaborations, it's through private podcasting, it's through appearing on private stages, it's through networking, it's through creating those relationships. And she despises social media. So again, men and women, like this is a prototype for anybody. But Lilith doesn't like social media too much. And there are two pitfalls. Like one, yes, building connections and doing relationship marketing works really, really, really well, but they're missing out on personal brand. They're missing out on personal brand and creating community. Well, number one. Number two is sometimes the lack of discernment. Sometimes the lack of knowing which room they have to be in. Rooms can be deceiving. Like it might appear on the surface that yes, it is the room that I want to be in. It looks like there are a lot of people who can afford my services and who are my clients. But when they appear there, it's couldn't be further from the truth. So that's Lilith. Now let's talk about Whisperer. A Whisperer. So it's like basically a professional who does deals belly to belly. They don't like social media. Like it's not necessarily like Lilith because they connect with people. It's DM conversations, is networking events. They're meeting people very often in person. Very often in person, like literally belly to belly, face to face. When they talk to people face to face, they convert them really, really well. So the type of support, and it's a strength, right? Relationship building and converting people into on a personal level, and is a strength. So the pitfall of that prototype is that you don't know how to drive people to your DMs, into your conversations, right? And the support they would need right now is first of all, understand how to start conversations. How to start conversations, either how to get invited to an event, to the events, and how to start DM conversations. That's the support that they need right now for their marketing. Because once they start conversations, they're really, really good. And the last and not least is Samson. And Samson is a bro marketer in a way. So they're strong, they're masculine, and again, men and women like masculine, feminine energy, so it can be applicable for both genders. Listen, as much as the business industry does not like bro marketers, they're quite successful entrepreneurs, and they can have magnetic presence as well. But the problem with bro marketers or with Samson, yes, you have strong energy. You are that really, really strong entrepreneur, that really, really strong business owner. But the depth of your messaging is rather shallow, and you're not building deep relationship with your audience. That's the pitfall. That's where you need support. And classic examples of Samson, for example, Alex Hermosi. And he's a very successful entrepreneur. He's very smart. He creates really, really good content. And the reason why I wouldn't put him on, combine him with Solomon first, because he has that strong, matter of fact kind of messaging, right? The depth is, I think he's trying to get depth there, right? But the lack of connection, the lack of deepening relationship with the audience. But again, there are people who resonate, there are people who buy. You can be a successful marketer like that. So next week, I'm going to talk about Solomon type. again, tune in. Like, even if you're not Solomon type, I would say tune in anyway, because as you are expanding your zone of genius, you might attract some of the characteristics of the Solomon type when your marketing is really good, when you're aligning people, and how to balance everything out, how to align your marketing campaign so it actually doesn't burn you out, and attracts more people. All right, I will talk to you next time.